Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. And now, celebrating 15 years of broadcasting, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on the radio dial in my home state of Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM. We welcome you all back to our program. Also, those tuning in through online affiliates around the world, including our iHeartRadio family. We're glad to have all of you with us as well. We're excited to welcome during this segment Dr. Eddie. He's not only a practicing pediatrician, but he's also been able to create something that has been a benefit for children of all ages. And we're excited to talk to him about it. It's Dr. Eddie's HAPPY CAPPY Shampoo. I'm going to tell you guys not only about the shampoo, but also how you can get it for yourself, what it's been like for Dr. Eddie to not only do work that he loves and to see the response, but also how you all can stay connected with him as well. Dr. Eddie, hello to you and welcome to the program.
Hi, Cyrus. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm excited to speak with you. And as I said, we're going to be talking about HAPPY CAPPY Shampoo here in a bit. But I want to first talk about this experience that you've had. I noticed when I was prepping for this segment with you, one of the things that you take a lot of pride in is not only, of course, being a pediatrician, but also spending so much of your life being able to work with children. I mean, what has it been like for you to not only to be recognized, for your passion for working with children, but also to be able to see how the parents appreciate it as well?
Oh, it's been great, Cyrus. I've been a practicing pediatrician since 2010. I did my training at the Children's Hospital Los Angeles, and now I practice here in Houston. And it's been great. I mean, I see many families throughout the day, and I've had a chance to see kids that were born when I first started that are now 7 and 8 year olds. So it's a really, really cool thing to see families grow and people that start with their first kid that were anxious and now they're on child number 3 and some on child number 4. So it's been a cool journey. I feel like you feel a little bit older when you walk in and you see like a 7-year-old and you and you recall that you've seen him since he was first born. But it's really fun. It's a lot of fun, a lot of laughing and good times, and some sad times too. But mostly it's upbeat, and that's why I decided to go into pediatrics. It's a fun profession, and I'm a pretty outgoing and fun guy.
Got you. Well, I think a great connection, Dr. Eddie, with what you do as a pediatrician as well as, of course, what you've been able to do with HAPPY CAPPY is, you're wanting to be able to fill a need. Have you always been a person who's wanted to be of service, be able to find the way that they can be able to help those around them?
I have. I've always been active since college. I've always been involved in social organizations. It was in a group that for people that want to go to medical school and college. During medical school, I was in many national leadership organizations for people. In Texas, the Texas Medical Association, there was a Latino minority association for medical students. And in medical school, I continued doing that as well. And it's there's a lot of time constraints in residency to do a lot of outreach outside of residency. But when I finished, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur of some sort, and I've gotten a chance to do that.
Yeah, and that's the great thing. I have always said, Dr. Eddie, that I think for all of us to know that we can not only be of service is one thing, but then to be able to meet a need. And as a pediatrician, you're able to, as you were saying, you're able to get to know these children. Know what their needs are, know what things are affecting them. So how did it come to your attention, that this issue, when it comes to this, the issue with their skin, that was an issue that needed to be addressed?
Yeah, sure. One of my passions in pediatrics was skincare, and I spent several months working with the nation's experts in skincare, and so it's always a thing I've enjoyed. And so, about 70% of pediatricians would recommend Head & Shoulders or Selsun Blue for kids' scalps, and it worked. But parents always kind of gave me a funny look. They'd be like, "You're going to do what, doctor?" Using my head, and so I reassured them, and I did that for about 4 years, and then finally I said, you know what, there's got to be a better way. And so I took to the task of finding how I was going to go about it, and I decided that I would pursue it in 2014, and I found a blend of ingredients that I thought would work well, and contacted the appropriate attorneys to make sure that everything was okay with the FDA, and from there I started to move forward with the design of the bottle and finding a name, and finding a factory that would make the product, and 4 years later, this past January is when we launched.
Wow. I mean, how does that feel? As you said, I mean, you wanted to be an entrepreneur. Of course, you have been able to find success, Dr. Eddie, as a pediatrician. I mean, how did it feel to be able to go on a site like Amazon and to see, Dr. Eddie's Happy Cappy there?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. It's fun in my office. I have flyers for patients to see, and so for my old patients, if they don't suffer from the condition, I like to brag a little bit. I'm like, hey, look what I did, and everybody's like, oh my God, that's so cool, and they get really excited, and I get excited, and even if they don't have it, they say they're going to support me, and eventually they're like, oh, can I use this on myself too? And I'm like, yeah, of course, you can use it on your own dandruff as an adult as well. It's got an active ingredient that takes care of dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis for both adults and for kids, and so they really like it. It's fun to see a look on their face, and to get on Amazon and to see just the excitement that before launching something, you never know how it's going to go. We did some market research to see how the general population would perceive the product, the Happy Cappy in its bottle, and it was a overwhelming positive response. And I was the president of a local pediatric society here in Houston, and so I pulled my colleagues there as well, and they were excited. But to actually see when people purchase it, to see what happens, has been pretty cool with the Amazon reviews. And
right.
We've got some, overwhelmingly people are enjoying it. We have 4.5 out of 5 with almost 50 reviews in the past 5 months, and so it's really cool to see that, because you always have, I'm sure for anybody, I can imagine there's a lot of anxiety. Gosh, are people really going to like this? Are people really going to use this? And sure enough, they have, and people have taken to it.
Exactly. I want to talk to you more about that, Dr. Eddie. I want to first say, for those who may be just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Dr. Eddie to our program today. He's not only a pediatrician, but he's also the creator behind Dr. Eddie's Happy Cappy Medicated Shampoo. We want to remind you not only how you can get a shampoo for yourself, but also stay connected with Dr. Eddie. We're talking with him not only about what led him to being a pediatrician, but also what it was like for him to meet the needs of his patients, namely when it came to itchy and flaky scalp. And so we're going to be letting you guys know again how you can be able to take advantage of getting the shampoo for yourself. One of the reviews in particular I wanted to bring up, Dr. Eddie, was actually earlier this year in January. And the person writing the review on Amazon said that after battling terrible flakes with their first kid, they had a pediatrician recommend Happy Cappy for their second child, and they said they couldn't be happier. So they lived in a dry, cold environment. The flakes seemed endless, but after using the shampoo, it said it really did the trick. No more flakes. When you read reviews like that, when you hear the stories, the testimonials from people who do you feel as though you were able to do exactly what you wanted to when it came to creating Happy Cappy? Yeah,
I do. I really do. I mean, it gives you a warm feeling inside. It's like, man, this is exactly. I mean, what the product's intended to do, and it was tough because as a pediatrician, again, as I was saying, I used to recommend adult products which have scent and color and that kind of thing. And many of the kids that are, that we're prescribing this for, their skin is already sensitive, and so to use something with that fragrance, that color, was a big turnoff to me as a pediatrician, because I knew it'd be better to make something that's fragrance free. So I went into it. The product was clinically tested, dermatologist tested. And out of the 50 subjects that were evaluated, not a single person had irritation at the site of the test. And so I knew, going to work well, but to actually see a review like that, again, really brought a warm feeling, made my face flush a little bit.
Right. Well, I think that is the other thing. And then knowing, too, that you're making a difference. I mean, it's not just about for you, and it's very obvious, not just about having a product on the market. It is about being able to do something that's going to help not only your patients but also others who might find out about it. Have you, one thing I thought about when I was prepping for this segment also, Dr. Eddie, is that you now are being able to do two things that can be inspirational to other individuals. One, of course, is having a goal for oneself, whether it comes to being a pediatrician or some other profession, but also being able to venture out on one's own and to do something like that. I mean, what has it been like for you to know that you're able to show people by what you've been able to do what's possible for them?
Yeah, it's really cool. I just the other day, a nice, I think it was like a 7th grader, came in and asked me if he could interview me. I was like, oh wow, this is really cool about my dream of being a pediatrician. Had nothing to do with Happy Cappy. Just he wanted to talk to me about what it was like, and so it was fun talking to the 12-year-old. I think he enjoyed himself and learned a thing or two, and I think he had a project or something at school, so that was really cool. And people always kind of ask across the years of what it was like, what it takes, and I like to give an inspirational talk and tell them they can do it. It just takes hard work and perseverance. It's funny, though, when people start to tell me about their friend or their cousin or their brother that's starting a product, and they're like, yeah, maybe you can give them some advice. And so it still hasn't processed yet that I've become an entrepreneur, and that people want to learn something from me in that respect as well. So it's pretty cool. It's the doctor thing is stuck. It's been there for a while. I'm still, of course, learning. You always learn as a physician. But being an entrepreneur is fun. I've luckily had lots of good role models to help me become a business person. In medical school, you learn a lot about the medicine. You learn a lot about empathy and taking care of people, and the business part doesn't really get emphasized too much, especially something like this where you're working with a manufacturing facility and getting all the everything checked off that needs to be checked off. So it's been fun.
Well, as I mentioned, we're going to let our audience know, of course, how they can be able to get Happy Cappy, Dr. Eddie. But I want to ask you this, too. I mean, was this the only product that you had in mind? I mean, I know there are other things, not that you don't have enough on your plate, right? But, I mean, do you find that you are, because of the work that you continue to do, that there are other needs that come to your attention that you kind of say, I wonder if that's something that we can be able to address?
Sure, Cyrus. Again, the Happy Cappy was, the common name for what we're treating is called cradle cap. And, it's been, all doctors know this is seborrheic dermatitis. And so about 1 in 3 infants, suffer from seborrhea. And so, and the flaking, and the seborrhea encompasses flaking and scaling and itching the scalp. You can have redness in the neck folds. You have redness in the armpits. You can have redness in the groin area. And so, Happy Cappy is a shampoo the medicated shampoo that will actually, you can use as a body wash as well. And with using it for, 2-3 days in a row, and then for, basically twice a week, it'll take care of the problem. And so we were left with, I don't want people to use this. If they're, once the problem's solved, that's great. If you need to use it to maintain, that's perfect. And so we wanted to also have something that people could use as a daily wash. And so we're very excited. By the 1st of June, hopefully, Cyrus will have our new Happy Cappy daily shampoo and body wash that's got the same licorice root extract, which helps to soothe redness. It's going to have aloe vera in it, oatmeal extract, and it's a great high-end shampoo. It's got a luxurious lather. I've been using it myself, and my daughter and my wife's been using it, and we couldn't be happier for it to come out. So it'll also be available on Amazon.
Awesome.
And we're trying to find other needs too. I mean, I think again, there was a need for this. I hate to duplicate things, but once people like your brand, I mean, they expect you to keep making things that help them. So I'm not trying to rush it and trying to go slowly so we make a good decision for our next product, but we definitely want to continue to expand to help families and like I was saying earlier, there's now recently been a following of adults who've been, since this is a fragrance-free, dye-free, alcohol-free, the paraben-free as a type of preservative. Adults have been really excited about this as well, and so that's been pretty cool to see people really kind of latch onto this product that was originally intended for children, but it's been a fantastic addition to the arsenal of adults suffering from facial seborrheic dermatitis.
Yeah. Well, it's a great thing to know about. I mentioned to you before we went on this segment that I had this week, went on Amazon to order it for my nephew. I did plan on using it myself to share with you. So I look forward to being here tomorrow, actually, so that I can be able to try it out for myself, and I'll definitely be writing a review as well. And I think that's the other great thing, too, because, we adults have these same problems, right? I mean, and so it's great to be able to know that there's things out there that are safe for children that we can use for ourselves, too. And Dr. Eddie, I'm so glad you can come on and talk to us about it. Again, Dr. Eddie has been our guest. He's a pediatrician and, of course, the creator behind Dr. Eddie's Happy Cappy Medicated Shampoo. As I mentioned, you all can get it through Amazon.com at a very, very low price for you Amazon Prime members out there. What that means, you guys get two-day shipping, so definitely take advantage of that. And the website for you guys to go to find out more information about the shampoo is www.happycappyshampoo.com. And that's happy, of course, with two P's, Cappy with two P's, shampoo.com is where you guys can go for more information. And Dr. Eddie, is that the best place, too, for them to stay connected with you, too?
Yes, for sure. Cyrus, when they go to our website, there's a buy now button that takes them to Amazon, and if they scroll down, they can go to Facebook, and they can connect on Facebook or Instagram. And also, if you go to contact us, you'll get a hold of the Happy Cappy Shampoo team for any questions or comments directly to us. Many ways to get in touch with us. And, of course, our Facebook page is a very, very easy way to get in touch with us. So, thank you so much, Cyrus. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no, I appreciate the time and looking forward to having you back on the program again when the new project comes out.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do.
All right, sounds great. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. I want to thank our good friend, Zach Tepperman, for setting up this conversation with us for today. And thank all of you, our listeners, for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late and missed part of the conversation with Dr. Eddie, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media sites. So head over to facebook.com/CyrusWebb or go to twitter.com/CyrusWebb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there, too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. You all make it a great one.